Coach, Miami's now 2-0 to start conference play for the first time since the 2020 COVID season. Can you just talk about what you saw from your team this past week against Akron and Buffalo?
A lot of resilience. I mean, I talked to the team about that would be the toughest trip we take all year. More so just the going on the road after preseason, um, first conference matches. That's a long trip. So just really proud of them. I mean, we were resilient. We found a way after the first set in Akron to settle things down, get better, make the changes, and we were able to hang in there and win that match, and got to Buffalo at 1 in the morning and then have to turn around pretty quickly and scout them and go in there and play. And we did a great job. I mean, we beat them in three, and um, I thought the whole match we were in control. So obviously that's a huge jump for this program. Great job by the team, the staff, and it puts us in a good spot, statistically now. We got to keep battling and winning matches.
Yeah. Obviously, like you said, you talked to the team about just how tough of a trip it'd be, but did you see a shift in their mindset, heading into conference play? I mean, you guys get a gritty 5-set win against Akron, and then you turn around and, like you said, you take a 3-set match against Buffalo. And obviously that's something that you've talked about working on, and just, not kind of hanging around with teams and, taking what you feel like is yours, right? So just as a whole, did you see your team's mindset shift at all?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a work in progress still, right? Like this, we're still playing 3, 4 freshmen and 2 transfers, and at times we have our moments. But where we've really shifted is we don't quit and give up. We keep battling. We can drop a set and then make a change mentally and strategically and go out there and find a way to keep battling and competing. So we're definitely growing in that area. I mean, I think that's one of the toughest things as a coach is getting your team to keep battling and staying resilient. And I think they saw the flip side of it where they did it and they were successful on the road. And it's something we'll have to keep battling throughout the year. And we're going to, playing teams like Western Michigan coming in who have won a ton of games the last few years. We know it's going to be a battle and it might not always go smooth. But if we can keep competing and find a way to open them up at certain points of the match, we'll have a chance.
Yeah, what is there to be said about the just different people who can have a night on each night? Lydia this weekend hits over 500. Off the top of my head, Lauren also played pretty well, especially offensively. Um, you know, it's like each night it could be somebody else. Like, what does that say about your team?
Well, I mean, I think they're buying into what I preach to the team is every single person matters. We have to be really tough in practice, and that takes the whole teams. We need people to come in and off the bench and contribute, which we did, a lot this weekend. Chelsea came in and gave us good minutes. Grace came in as a server and gave us good minutes. We're doing what's asked of us right now as a team, and we're going to need 2 to 3 people each match to step up if we're going to have opportunities to win some of these. So it's good. It doesn't matter who it comes from. Like Lyd had a big weekend. I thought she was great. I think the weekend before, Lindy had a big weekend. So whatever it takes, and I think that's the mentality of this team is we know we're still growing. We know we're not a finished product. What we lack in certain areas, we're going to make up for in toughness and belief. And the one thing I'll say about the team is I've been very tough. Because I think we can win. I think you press harder as a coach when you feel like you're close and you have the ability. So, we've come together as a team. We're resilient. We're tough, and we will not be an easy match for anyone this year. So it's a very different Miami team and feel. And I think a lot of teams that had us, chalked up as a win are now thinking this is going to be a tough match.
Can you touch on the versatility of Ellie Hansen? I've seen that. Obviously, she's a senior, and seen her a little bit everywhere, right? Just what has she provided on the court this year?
Yeah, she's a good volleyball player. I mean, I know where she grew up and the club she played for, and she's a beach kid from Southern California, so she can kind of do it all. And I've just asked her to just fill in and do what's needed for her. So whether it's from the end line or it's playing back row or playing front row, kind of whatever it takes mentality, and she's done that. And I just we had a good talk. I had a gut feeling. I think in certain matchups we're better with her, and she's done in and helped us win, the last 3 matches in a row. So credit to her. She's battled. She's never pouted once. She's been a really good example and great teammate throughout the summer and throughout the year, where it's just like, hey, whatever you need me to do, I want to help the team win. So whatever we need her to do, she's going to do. So if it's play left side, play right side, serve, play defense, she'll show up and try to help the team win. And I think the team's feeding off of that. They're, especially the younger kids, it's like, hey, like it's not about me. It's about what I can do to help Miami win. And I think that's a huge shift from especially high school to college, or if you're a transfer coming into a new program, like it's never about you. It's about helping the team win. And when you can find that maturely and you have great examples, especially your older players doing it, it's infectious, and it's probably why we're having the success we are right now.
You turn your attention to a pair of home matches versus Western Michigan this Thursday and Northern Illinois on Friday. What are you expecting from these opponents?
I think Western Michigan's going to be really good. I mean, they have been for years. They lost some key players, but they've had those backups in their gym training, and they know how to win. They went 2-0 to start the conference, and anyone that goes 2-0 to start the conference, you're real, and you can play and you can finish out matches. So I think it'll be a really difficult match for us, one of the tougher ones we faced. They pass really well, like they're in a split passer look, which we don't see often, but they're passing like a 2-4 and a 2-6, which is better than most people. So that will be a challenge in itself. They run a lot of slide, a lot of stuff behind, which is something that we'll have to serve really well against 2 of the best passers in order to slow that down. And I think that's something that, if we do what we're supposed to do and we execute, like, we'll have a good chance of winning the match, and then NIU, they've had a great preseason. I think they're confident. I think they do some stuff from the end line that's different. They serve a lot of short. You kind of know it's coming, but it's hard to stop, even when like, I think people who don't know volleyball see short serves and they're like, it should be easy. It's really hard. And you don't know it's coming, and it's one of those things. It's 2 very different teams, but 2 teams that are confident right now, had big first weekends, but they got to play us at home. And I hope that we're getting to the point where us being at home is a confidence booster and we can play better when we're at home. Ironically, we've played really good on the road. But I think that's the next stage for us is, can we build off that? Can we find a way to battle? Can we find a way to win 1 or 2 matches this weekend and keep us in the hunt for that conference tournament?